What's up, guys? Welcome to Sabrina Talks. I'm Sabrina if you're new. If you're not, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. Happy New Year's, guys. I have not been on here since last year because the first week of January I wanted to take like a little break, and then the second week I was supposed to upload a video, but YouTube copyright decided it wanted to eat up my video and not let me post it, so I'm trying to work through that, so hopefully I can post that later. But regardless of that nonsense, I'm back this week and we are going to be doing a nice little roundup of new music that came out on the 15th of January. There was a lot of good music came out that day, so I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on all of them. So we'll be talking about new music from Ariana Grande, Jazmine Sullivan, Zayn, Gallant, all that kind of like. So let's jump into it. Oh, but before we really get into the new music, I just want to let y'all know that I'm now going to be rating new music and like albums that I review. Previously, I never used to rate it. I always felt like it wasn't necessary to give it a rating or a score because I wasn't no official like music critic. I just like talking about music. But this year, I'm still gonna not really give it like an official score, but I would like to at least give it a rating of sorts where I just kind of tell you how much songs that I have saved, and you can base how much I like the album with that instead of like me giving it an A or saying, you know, it's a 70 out of 100, that kind of thing. So first we'll jump into the singles that released on the 15th. First we'll talk about Ariana Grande's 3435 remix with Doshiket and Megan Thee Stallion. So when I heard that 3435 was getting a remix, I was excited because I knew this song was just itching for a rap girl to be on it. So I was like, ooh, maybe it's gonna be like Sweetie or Megan or somebody. But I didn't realize there was going to be two people, and the two people to be Megan and Doja. And I was confused because Doja was already on Motive, but apparently she was supposed to be on this song in the original anyways, but you know, I guess they decided not to go with that. Who knows, but the song is just okay in my opinion. You know, it's cute. It'll get the job done, like get Ari some more promotion, but I think it just doesn't mesh well all together. Like Megan's verse is great, Doja's verse is great, and Ari's verse was always great, but like all together it just doesn't sound fully cohesive. So I don't know, I'm gonna just stick to, you know, the original song because I think that's better than this remix. It's the same thing how I feel about the Do It remix with all of the like rap girls on there. I wasn't a big fan. I thought it was cute, but you know, the original is just better. So for this song, it's not getting saved onto my phone, but if I hear it on the radio, I'll just, you know, vibe along to it. Next song I want to talk about is by Gallant, and it is his new song called Comeback. I'm so happy that Gallant is starting to make some more music. He's been teasing that he was going to drop an EP for a while now. So I'm glad he's actually back and, you know, releasing some music. Hopefully an album will be coming along with it. Gallant once again proves that he is an R&B star with this late 90s, early 2000s kind of song. And in portions of it, it really reminds me of h.e.r. like back in the day, which is why I think I like it so much. Plus, you know, Gallant is just amazing vocally. In the song, he's just kind of talking to like a former lover, like, hey, you know, I know we broke up, but if you want to come back, I'm here for it. Which I think is cute. I don't know how healthy that is, but you know, the way he sings it and the message that he says in the lyrics, I think is cute. So for me, this is obviously getting a save because I love me some Gallant, and plus just the early 2000s nostalgia to it really boots it over the top. So I say give it a listen to. Last single we'll be talking about is Roaring 20s by Flo Milli. Y'all know how much I love me some Flo Milli, and she absolutely delivered on this song. This song is a hit. The song samples If I Were a Rich Man by Topol. You can hear the sample in the beginning of the song and then throughout the rest of the song, like in the background. And I really love the decision to sample this song because it's so different, and the beat that they chose to go with it melds so nicely together. It's just a hit. Flo Milli, once again, always delivering some great bars and just great one-liners and witty lyrics. I also really love that in the first verse, she's taking the perspective of the rich man that she wishes to be and is rapping from that aspect, and I just really enjoy that. With like this song and what she did with the song Weak, I really enjoy what she's doing with her samples and how she's making songs her own, so I cannot wait to see what other things she will release in the future. So yeah, this song is getting a save on my phone. I saved it the minute, the second it ended, because I was like, oh yeah, this is right up my alley. I just knew I was going to love it. Let's move on to the album reviews. So I have two today. One technically didn't come out last week, but I wanted to talk about it anyways. And the first one we're talking about is Zayn's Nobody's Listening. So this is Zayn's third studio album and it has 11 songs. It runs about 35 minutes and has features from a UK rapper named Devlin and Sid. I've talked about Sid before. I love me some Sid. So in the first listen of this album, I loved it and I thought it was fantastic. I live tweeted my whole reactions to it. So you can go follow me on Twitter and look at my real-time reactions to this album. But on my second and third listen, I think the high of like getting new music from Zayn wore down and I was really like paying attention to the album, and I don't like it as much. Now, this is not a bad album. I thoroughly enjoyed my listening experience, but I think certain songs on this album feel like they needed another go around before they got put on this album, if that makes sense. So let's talk about some things that I like. Vocally, Zayn sounds great. I mean, he was never gonna sound terrible because it's Zayn, but I could definitely tell the improvement of his voice throughout, you know, his 3 albums. Some songs that I liked. Better is still one of my favorite songs off of that album. It was a single and it's just fantastic. The song Outside is also really great. I found out that it was co-written by Khalid, which I love me some Khalid. And his falsettos on this song are absolutely stunning. It definitely gives the chill vibe that a Khalid song would bring, so I can see Khalid's influence on the song. When Love's Around featuring Sid, oh, I love this song so much. It's so great. The like chill, sensual Caribbean beat and then Zayn and Sid's voice together. Ooh, just melds so nicely. Sweat is a wonderful, like lustful 80s synth kind of song, which I thoroughly enjoy. I also really love Tightrope. It has such sweet lyrics, and Zayn singing in Urdu is one, stunning. And then 2, it's just also nice because it adds so much character and like uniqueness to the song. Instead of like it being like a typical R&B song, it's now influenced by like his heritage, which I enjoy. Now the things that I didn't like, some songs, like I said, just don't feel fully furnished, don't feel fully finished. I've seen critics say that lyrically he doesn't go too deep into anything. He's kind of very surface level, which I kind of agree. On some songs, he just kind of goes the typical like sex and love, which is fine, but like it's, like I said, a very surface level version of it. But seeing how it's his 3rd album, I feel like we should be getting a tad bit deeper. But the songs I wasn't entirely a fan of are Connection. I personally feel like that's the worst song on the album. The song just doesn't feel finished. I don't like the chorus because it sounds like trumpets and I just can't understand what the heck he's saying. Not my favorite. Another song I'm not really a fan of is Windowsill. It seems kind of cheesy. It gives me heavy Post Malone vibes, which is fine, but I don't think it matches Zayn too much. It seems too much like he's trying to be Post Malone or even a little bit Travis Scott. Like, I wasn't a fan. And then Devlin, the UK rapper, no offense to him, but his verse on here was not it. He came in a little too aggressive and he was like preaching for some reason. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it. And then the last song I was not a fan of is Vibes. This was Zayn's 2nd single, I believe. I know why it's his 2nd single, because it's very digestible, if that makes sense. Like, it's a very typical pop R&B song, and I don't really like that because it just seems mediocre and cheesy, and I know Zayn could do better, so wasn't entirely a fan. Songs like River Road and Unfuckwittable, I don't have too much opinions on it. I quite like River Road, but I still feel like there's some things that needed to be added to that song. Unfuckwittable is fine. It's just kind of, I don't know, basic. I still think it's a pretty good Zayn album. It's definitely not my top Zayn album. I think Mind of Mine is still my like best Zayn album. And then I guess just depending on the day, Icarus Falls and Nobody's Listening will be second or third. So yeah, I like this album. I don't think it's a bad album. I think Zayn probably could have went a little bit further, but I'm just happy he's releasing music, honestly. So personally, my rating for this album is a 6 out of 11 because I have 6 songs saved out of the 11 songs. Lastly, let's get into my favorite new music of this past month, which is Hotels by Jazmine Sullivan. Now, if you've seen my artist to watch video, it'll be up in the cards here and in my description. You will know that I mentioned that Jazmine Sullivan is the artist to watch in 2021 because I just knew she was cooking up something to release this year, and she sure did. I didn't expect her to release it in the first month of the year, but I'm happy nonetheless. Now, this new EP by Jasmine is not a full album. It is just an EP. It features 8 songs, 7 interludes that features different tales or stories by different women, and some artists that are featured on this EP are Anderson .Paak, h.e.r, and Ari Lennox. So the way this EP works is it'll start off with a tale or like a story from one of the women, and then the next song will be a song that like is in relation to whatever the person was talking about in their tale, which I think is so brilliant. Like, I just think it's such a great way to compose a piece of work because we get the storytelling of the person's actual story, and then we get the interpretation of that story in the song, and it just works so nicely together. I think Jazmine Sullivan's songwriting really shines throughout this EP because just the way she took these tales and made them into wonderful songs that really encompass what the tales were talking about. I'm impressed. Let's talk about some of my standout songs on this EP. First is Put It Down. This is a wonderful like R&B trap song. The verses really kind of remind me of 630 by Ariana Grande. Now, before anybody comes yelling at me, I'm not saying they stole it from each other. I'm not saying Jasmine copied Ari or Ari copied Jasmine. I'm just saying the cadence reminds me of like how Ariana sings on 630. I think it's just the typical way someone would sing on a trap beat, so don't come for me. Regardless, both songs are fantastic. On It, featuring Ari Lennox, whoo, this song got an instant save from me. I mean, Jasmine and Ari Lennox voices together is just chef's kiss. I immediately need a tour of them together. I need a joint album from them together. I need all of the things because this song is not enough. I need more, please. Seeing how it is so sexual, none of the lines are like cheesy or they don't overdo it. It's just so well done. I mean, round of applause to both of them because they did a fantastic job. Lost One is another one of my standouts. I mean, from the moment I heard it when she released it last year, I knew it was going to be great. But in the context of this album, oh, even better. Same with Pick Up Your Feelings. I don't know if y'all know, but I love Pick Up Your Feelings. That's definitely one of my favorite songs that came out of last year. Both of those singles, when I heard them, they were great. But in the context of this album, elevates it to a new level. You're Like Me is another spectacular song. I really love the fact that they're writing from the perspective of someone who is not a hoe and, you know, is kind of jealous and envious and kind of look down upon people who are hoes. I love it because it adds a different story to the album. It adds a different type of woman to the album, and it just really completes this whole work. Also, her and Jazmine Sullivan's vocals together, they're another one that I need a joint tour. I was texting my friends while I was listening to it the first time, and I was telling them, like, I immediately need a tour with Jazmine Sullivan, Ari Lennox, and her. We could even throw SZA in there. Woo! I mean, let me just get all of the R&B girlies in there and it'd be immaculate. My favorite tale from this EP is Ari's tale. One, because of the 2 songs that follow her tale, and also because Ari Lennox's tale is just hilarious to me. But after Ari's tale, Rashida's tale would probably be my second favorite because I like that her tale tells the fact that she was the bad person in the relationship. She was the one who cheated and, you know, did somebody wrong, which then follows with Lost One, which kind of talks about that same thing. So I really love her tale because it's just so honest and like vulnerable, and I just really like the way she told it, and just everything about it I really enjoyed. I also really enjoyed Anderson .Paak's feature on this EP. Usually I'm like hit or miss with him. Like some songs I really love by him and some songs I'm like, okay. But I really enjoyed his verse. I think it really adds a nice flavor to the rest of this album because he's technically the only male. So I like that he puts his like character in there, and I just thought it was really well done. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this EP. I'm so happy Jazmine Sullivan is making music again. This EP to me really showcases, one, her musicianship, because hello, my girl is a talent, and then two, it also just enforces her abilities as a songwriter. I mean, she was always great, but like this really takes it to a new level, and I'm just excited to see what she has for the future. So since there are 8 songs on this EP and I loved all 8 of them, Hotels by Jazmine Sullivan gets an 8 out of 8 for me. That about wraps it up for my video this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if you've heard of any of these songs that just got recently released, if you liked any of it. Also, let me know if you like this weekly roundup style of video that I did this week. Let me know if you would like to see more of it, because I could do that. Share this video with your friends. Subscribe to my channel for more music and related content. Follow me on social media. Once again, thank you so much for watching. As always, please remember to be safe, be kind, be smart, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.